Hello, so this is going to be a video for anyone interested in doing corrections on our CRQ from our classical civilizations test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through what the correct answers are, and I'm going to ask you to, I'm not going to write anything down. If you are interested in doing corrections based off of my instruction, I would like you to try and re-answer these questions. So first things first, a question one is always a context question. So when we're talking a context question, the thing I need you to remember is when it says historical, all right, so I'm going to circle that word. When it says historical, you are to be talking about the historic events leading up to, or in this case, between these two pictures. So I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger because I think maybe that could be an issue as well. So I'm going to zoom in just a tad. I'll get rid of this little guy. Um, so when we are talking about historical context, I need to explain what historical events are happening in between these two images. So it says, in 1 to 2 complete sentences, describe the historical circumstances surrounding the development of the Qin dynasty. The development of, like, how did it start? Right? So the picture on the left, the key to this question is reading your titles and paying attention to the consistency in the maps. So both of these are maps of China. This is zoomed in and is in the year 260 BCE, right? This map is later, but it is still China. All right, so in this map on the left, what is happening? This is the warring states of China, meaning these are independent states of each other. Each different color represents a different state. Remember when we learned about that? That there were 7 warring states. The Qin was one of those 7 states. And so what ended up happening, how we went from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, is that Sri Hongdi conquered all the other states and created a unified China under the Qin dynasty, right? So explaining the historical circumstances of what is happening that influence this, right? So what I need to be able to do in my sentences here is basically state that during the warring states, Sri Hongdi conquered the other 6 states and created the Qin dynasty, unifying China. That is the answer. Right? It has nothing to do with his building of the Great Wall or anything he does once he is emperor. Right? The question was asking surrounding the development, the start of. Okay, so how did the Qin dynasty start? Well, he conquered the 6 other states and created one unified China. Right? That is the answer to question 1. Question 2. So question 2 is always a sourcing question, meaning it's always about the author. In this case, the author of this is Li Si. He's the guy that wrote it. Right? I'm going to read my question first. My question says, explain the purpose, why he wrote it, of Li Si's advice to Sri Hongdi. Right? Why did Sri Hongdi write this document? Was it to persuade, inform, or entertain? So in this instance, I'm going to start by reading my title. It says Memorial on Annexation of Feudal States by Li Si. Li Si was the legal counselor for Sri Hongdi during his reign. Through military victories, the Qin conquered all the feudal lords. Now with the might of the Qin and the virtues of your highness, Sri Hongdi, the feudal lords can all be killed and unification of China can be brought about. If your highness does not do it now, the feudal lords will revive their strength and organize against you. Then no one, even with your power, will be able to take over their land. So this is a simplified version of the original source, but it gets at the same concept. The idea is, what is his purpose? Why did he write this? So first things first, he wrote it to specifically who, right? Sri Hongdi. It's right there in the title. It says, what was the purpose of his advice to Sri Hongdi? Was it to persuade him to do something, try and convince him to do something, inform him of some information, or to entertain him? So in this instance, Li Si is trying to persuade Sri Hongdi, and what he's trying to persuade him to do is to kill the feudal lords so that he does not have to worry about opposition. If you've already, right, you've already beat them, and now what you have to do to solidify your rule is kill them so that you can have one unified China. All right, so the connection between, the relationship between documents 1, these two images are document 1, and document 2, right, the feudal states. So with a cause and effect question, with any relationship question, the first thing I have to do is identify the relationship between the documents, meaning I need a sentence that says document blank caused document blank. Right? In this instance, document 1 has to happen first. Okay? Document 1 happens first. So my first sentence would be document 1 caused document 2. And now I need to use evidence to actually prove my claim. So my claim is that document 1 caused document 2. How do I prove it? Well, I'm going to say in document 1, it shows the warring states period. All right. Shi Hongdi conquered the other 6 states and created the Qin dynasty. In document 2, Li Si is giving Shi Hongdi advice as to how to hold on to his rule or hold on to his reign. All right. So what you need to make sure you do is that you have one sentence at the beginning that identifies the relationship. Document 1 caused document 2 in this case. And then your next 2 sentences should be evidence from the documents that prove that. For example, in document 1, you can see the map on the left shows 7 different states, and the map on the right shows a united China. In document 2, Li Si is now telling the emperor that he needs to take advantage of the fact that he's beat everybody and destroy the feudal lords so that no one can rise against you. Okay? So answer the questions that are connected to this video and then correct your CRQ and you can earn some points back. Right? If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to ask, and we will meet together and we can figure out your problem.